Hey guys! So I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I'm back. So today I figured I would show you the manga and graphic novels that I've gotten over the past few months. I've been really into manga lately. I've also been into anime, and I don't know. So I just figured I'd show you what I've picked up for the past few months and like what I plan to read. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So I'm gonna start with the manga because I have more of those. So the first manga is part of a series, and I have the first four volumes, I guess. I have the first four, but it's a 7-book series. I've read all 7. I borrowed them from the library, and I'm slowly collecting all of them because I loved it so much, and that is A Silent Voice. I have, like I said, 1 through 4, so this is A Silent Voice 1, and this is 2, and this is 3, and then this is 4. This manga series is about a boy and a girl, and the boy bullied the girl when they were younger. So this first volume is about, like, it pretty much explains like the bullying situation, and then the rest of, like, when they were younger, and then the rest of the series is about them when they're older and they fall in love, or like he has a crush on her and he's just trying to like apologize to her about everything he did because she went away for a while because she was getting bullied so much, and she's deaf, which is really interesting. Like, it's cool because like deaf representation isn't always in books, especially I feel like manga, there's not a lot of disability representation, so like it was really interesting to read that. And I loved the art style. I'll show you. This is the art style, and I just thought this was so pretty, and I heard about this from Miss Emma Reads a Lot here on YouTube, and I picked it up and I read all 7 volumes in literally like a day. I loved it so much, and I highly recommend this. So if you're interested in getting into manga, this is a really good first series to start with because it's not too long, because a lot of manga series are like 50 something things long. This is only 7, and you can read them very quickly, so I highly recommend this. The next manga I got, I also heard about from Miss Emma Reads a Lot, and that is Bakuman. I only have volume 1, and this is about a boy who wants to be a manga artist. And so I heard this was good for people who are just starting out with manga because like it kind of gives you like the background on like how manga really works, because if you don't know, you have to read manga right to left instead of left to right. So like normally you would hold a book up like this, but like this is the back of it, so you hold it this way and the spine's over here, and then you read it from like the back to the front, if that makes sense. And in pretty much all mangas, it says, it like tells you how to like read it. So like this is the last page, and it tells you like how to read the panels, which is really cool. Most manga has that, so if you're like confused or you don't know how to read it, you can just look it up online. That's what I did. But I haven't read this yet, but I'm really excited to pick it up, and hopefully I'll love it. I know Jessie the Reader also really loves this series, so hopefully I'll love it too. The next manga I hadn't heard about from anybody when I bought it, but then after I bought it, it's like one of those things where I like saw it everywhere, and that is 5 centimeters per second. And I don't know what this is about, but I think there's a film that like this was based off of, and I don't really know what the synopsis is, but I don't really want to know. I just heard it was like the most beautiful manga ever. Like the art style is so pretty, and this is a longer one, and I think that there's only one of these, that's why, because I think it was based off of a movie. So I'm really excited to read this. I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but I'm really excited to because it looks beautiful, and I just love the art style, and I hope to watch the film after I finish reading it. The next manga I have, I literally haven't heard about from anybody, but I'm pretty sure it's about poetry. Like 2 kids that write poetry and they like share it with each other, and they like help each other like heal from like something that happened. But it's called The Garden of Words. And I thought that I was really intrigued by the cover because they look like solemn, but like also like I love like the pink flowers. Like these aren't cherry blossoms, but they kind of look like cherry blossoms, and I was just like really intrigued by this. And I don't know, I love poetry, I write poetry, so I really wanted to pick this up. And it's really short, and like I said, I haven't heard about it from anybody, but the art style is also very beautiful. Okay, this is the last manga, and I actually didn't buy this. This is actually my friend's, and I'm borrowing it from him, but I was the one that told him to buy it, but he hasn't read it yet, so I was like, hey, can I borrow that and read it? And he was like, okay. And that's Orange Volume 1. This is a manga that everybody talks about. I originally heard about it from Jessie the Reader, but now I know like a bunch of people are reading it, and it's super sad. It's about this group of friends, and they meet this one kid in high school, and he's like the new kid, and then like something, and he ends up like killing himself. And so the one girl, the main character, she writes letters to herself from the future. So it's like when she's older, she writes letter to like her younger self, and then like it starts off with like her getting the letter, and like the letters tell her like, hey, don't do these things or do these things to help the guy, say like to prevent him from killing himself again, you know, see if she could like change things, which is interesting. And it's told through like flashbacks and in the present time. It's really sad, so I take it in like little chunks. I'm not very far through. I'm right there, but again, I really like the art style on this one as well. I just think it's really pretty. And this is a 2-volume series, and they're both like really big like this. So this is just volume 1, but I do really like it, and I also think it's a great place to start if you're just starting out with manga, but trigger warning for suicide. Okay, those were all of the manga. Now we're gonna move into comics. So the first comic I have is Miss Marvel chapter 6, which I didn't realize. So like I've read all of the Miss Marvel that are out already, but they're in the trade paperbacks, but a trade paperback hasn't come out in a while, and I was just like itching to read the story again. So I bought this one, but I didn't realize that this is the last chapter in the trade paperbacks that are already out. So it literally ends like where I had already ended it, and the comic book store that I went to didn't have chapter 7, otherwise I would have gotten that one. Because when I bought this, I was like, I'm pretty sure I read it, but like, you know, whatever. And I just think it's cool to have this, because like I usually read like comics and graphic novels in the trade paperback form, so I just thought it was cool to buy like an actual comic. Because I used to go to the comic book store with my dad when I was really little, with my dad and my brother when I was really little, and I do have like a little collection of comic books if you guys want to see that. It's not very big at all, but I'll show it to you if you want. Let me know down below if you do want to see that video. But I thought it would be cool to have this, because it doesn't just have Miss Marvel stuff in it. It has like, you know, like advertisements, and like on the back there's like an M&M thing. I don't know, I just thought it was cool. So I got this, and hopefully the comic book store will get chapter 7, because I want to continue with this. And yeah, so I went to this comic book store with my brother, and not really like anticipating getting much, and then once I got there I realized that there was a lot of things I wanted to get, and I didn't know like where everything started from, like where I had left off. So that's the case with this. So if you don't know, Paper Girls is like one of my favorite graphic novels like series ever. It's the same guy that did Saga, and Saga is also one of my favorites, but I think I like Paper Girls more. And if you don't know what Paper Girls is about, it's like, it's kind of like Stranger Things, but with girl newspaper, like newspaper girls. They like hand out the newspapers, and it's set in the 80s, and it's so good, and the art style is very beautiful. So that being said, I have the first 2 trade paperbacks are out, and I own both of them, and the third one's coming out. I thought it was October, but it's actually August it's coming out. And so I was at the comic book store, and I saw that they had a bunch of Paper Girl comics that I hadn't read yet. So I bought 4 of them. When I skipped the first one, so I skipped the first chapter, so I have like the last 4 sections of what's going to be in the trade paperback, but I don't have the first one, so I have to go back to the comic book store and get the first one, but that's okay. So it starts with chapter 11, but I have 12 through 15. So, but it's so, like, the covers are so pretty, I'm not even mad. So this is 12. This is 13. This is 14. And this is 15. And so I just thought these looked so cool, and I love Paper Girls, like I said, so I thought it'd be cool to have, like, I'm also gonna buy the trade paperback when it comes out, but I thought it would be cool to have all the comics and the trade paperback, so I could be like, I got this before it. And I want to try to keep up with this as it comes out for the next round until the next trade paperback comes out, because I think that would be really fun. I know that's how, like, you're supposed to do comics. You're not supposed to just, like, read, I mean, you can read the trade paperbacks, there's nothing wrong with it, but I know it's, like, fun to do that. And, like, comics are really cheap. Like, I only paid like $3 for each chapter. I know that's, like, a lot of money by the end, but, like, to get to read it as it comes out is just really cool to me. So I'm really excited that I have these, but I have to go back to the comic book store and get the first chapter so I can actually read them before the trade paperback comes out. This graphic novel that I have is one that I'm currently reading and loving, and that is The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 1. And this is a story about the Greek gods coming, they, like, every 90 years, 12 of them come to Earth and, like, live for 2 years, and then they just disappear after 2 years, and they live, you know, they live amongst the people and stuff, and they're gods, and it's really cool. And so this takes place in, I think it's like 20, I don't know, but the last time it happened was in the 1920s, and then this takes place in the present day. And what happens then, I know there's like 3 or 4, maybe there's more than that, trade paperbacks out of this, and I heard that as the series goes on it gets worse, but I'm loving this so far, so I don't know what they're talking about. But let me find a good page to show you the art. Also, I'm in love with Lucy. In love with Lucy. Like, I would date her. Oh, she's so hot. Let's find a good page. Here we go. This is the art style. I just think it's so beautiful, and I've been loving this. I'm like halfway through. I'm that far through, and I'm hoping to get the second volume after I finish this one, because I'm trying not to just buy like a bunch of series in bulk, because if I don't like it then I'm like stuck with the series. So I'm going to wait till I finish this one, but I heard this ends on a cliffhanger, so like I'm most likely gonna buy the second one. And the last 2 graphic novels I got are part of the same series, and I love these graphic novels so much, and that is Sex Criminals Volume 1 and 2. Oh my god, guys, this is so good. The art style is so funny, or it's so pretty, and then like also like the writing is really funny. So like there's this one scene where the couple like goes to like a bar and she's singing Fat Bottom Girls, but like, so they put her singing the lyrics in the graphic novel, but then they like got in trouble for having the lyrics to the song in the graphic novel. So they're like, so like this panel, so they put like sticky notes like over the bubbles where she's singing, and it says like, so here she starts singing Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. Legally low, that was an issue. We tried to get the rights to use the lyrics for original comic, but just couldn't get it worked out in time. It was okay though. We did this gag with little post-it notes and the scene still played out okay. And so it just does that until she's done. And it's so funny. I love it. And like there's another thing that's similar to that in the second volume 2, which is so good. But this graphic novel series is about 2 people, Susie and John, and they both can stop time when they orgasm. So they didn't know this when they met. So like she knew this and he knew this, and then they like met at a party and they had sex, and then they were like, whoa, you can do this too? What's happening? And then they decide to rob a bank to save a library. And I just think it's so good, and the art style is so cool, because when they stop time it gets all like whimsical and fancy, and like I just love it. Also, I just showed you a pair of boobs on that page, but like here's, yeah, everybody's naked in this series, but like look how pretty. I just love this graphic novel so much. So I bought the first one and I read it in a day, And then I waited a while to get the second one because I didn't have the money for it at first. But then I started reading it in the bookstore, and then I just bought it anyway because I was like, I need it. And I love the second one just as much. It's so good. And there's also like the sex police that like police people, because there's not, you find out that it's not just the two of them that can do it. And then there's the sex police, and they like chase them, and it's just like a heist, but like they have sex to do the heist, which is so fun. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. So yeah, these are all of the graphic novels and manga and comics that I've gotten over the past few months. If you want to see more of these videos, like hauls of manga and comics, let me know, because this is something very new to my channel and I really love these things, so I hope you guys do too. Give me a like if you like this video, and leave me a comment down below to tell me what your favorite comic book, graphic novel, or manga is. I'd love to know because I would love some recommendations. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!